Yesterday, we had the sad news around the death and the sudden passing of the CFO of Bed Bath & Beyond. The CFO stands for the Chief Financial Officer. Of course, high-standing executive, and it was also the executive vice president of the company. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond, as well as AMC, as well as GameStops, are meme stocks that are widely, covered in, social media when it comes to shares or stocks that are heavily shorted by, the big guys, the big dogs on Wall Street with the big pockets. Now, the fact that this death has been classified as a suicide, from a person of that position within that type of company, raises some legitimate questions, Is this had something to do with, the short squeeze happening in the meme stocks, such as AMC, GameStop, or is this just a coincidence? Either way, things look a little bit, unease. There is a little bit of, a mysterious thing about it, and I'm going to try to answer this in this video. And as I mentioned, this is a little bit weird. So Gustavo Arnal, here's a picture of the man in question. He was 56 years old, and this was you can see here on the right side of this picture, the building. He apparently fell off from the 57th floor. All right. Now, if you look at the story, Bed Bath & Beyond CFO who leaped to his death accused of pump and dump to inflate company stock value. So this has to do with Ryan Cohen and him selling a bunch of stocks. Ryan Cohen pretty much sold everything. He sold a portion, but he still had another portion. He sold about 42,000 shares when it hit, some of the highest the company share have seen in the past, which was worth a little bit over $1 million. But he still had about 267,000 shares. You can read it here. Arnold sold 42,000 shares on August 16 for more than $1,029,000, but he still had 268,000 shares, almost valued at $6.5 million. Now, even though the share of Bed Bath & Beyond was just trading around 8.63, not around 20 or the 30s. Now, the thing is, when you look at somebody with his position, a CFO, I'm getting into the reason why I think this is a little bit weird. It's simply because a CFO, even in a situation or in a position where the company is getting restructured because the company, they decided to, sell some of the stores, a bunch of stores. They're going to close another bunch of them. They had some loan in order to kind of have some cash because, the company is on a downtrend and they needed to do what main companies, big companies in this situation will do, which is a restructuration where you're trying to reorganize things, in order to make sure the company doesn't go bankrupt, So for a company like this, going under this restructuration is not unusual, especially, for a company like Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, for a CFO to still have almost $6.5 million worth of shares in the company and still having a comfortable salary, all right, it seems weird because the CFO is not like, the hedge fund manager or portfolio manager or a trader who might have played, with the house money or client money and lost it all and has no other choice but to go to jail. And we saw this before, and they will, just get a suicide from the same type of, fall he got. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. We had something similar happening in Tribeca, all right, in New York. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section if you think differently. But from a money standpoint, or from something different tied to what is happening with the company, it still doesn't make sense. Even though the company is going on the downtrend, even though the company is being restructured, the company, it doesn't mean that the company is going to bankrupt tomorrow. And even if the case, you still have a comfortable salary and you still can sell your shares. We're talking about $6.5 million here. So it's not pocket change. All right. So for me, it doesn't make sense to tie his death to what is happening with the company. All right. because those are mostly happening to people that are having, like as I mentioned, traders, hedge fund managers, portfolio managers. All right. Now, can we also make a tie to his death to something that may have happened behind the scenes? Something may have happened, something may have to do with, the short squeeze, maybe the rumors, maybe, he knew something, maybe, he was expecting something, maybe he was supposed to say something and he got silenced. Well, that may be a little bit far stretched as well, just because, it's true, we're talking about big money here when it comes to the short squeeze in these stocks. But at the same time, can the hedges or the shorts really be that desperate to go that far? That's the $1 million question. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. But personally, I don't think they are able to do so. But it doesn't mean it can be totally ruled out from the scope of possibilities happening here, because, Wall Street is a dark place. Wall Street is a dark place, especially when you start, when you are at certain levels, So, yeah, the short answer to finish this video is, I don't know. We don't have enough evidence. We don't have enough information. It might be too soon to actually determine this, but let's see if, some stuff are popping in the next coming days, next coming weeks, in order to kind of see, if we can have some sort of, explanation. It might also be that he had personal, personal issues, personal matters that may have pushed him over the edge. But as I mentioned, too soon to tell, but not impossible to think what I'm thinking,